The San Antonio housing market witnessed an unusually high percentage of new home listings for the month of August. Typically, we see a decline in new home listing activity at this time, but we saw quite the opposite last month in the data. So we're going to go back and we're going to review new home listing data for the month of September and see if a new trend has started. Also, the latest world news: war in Israel. How might war affect the real estate market back home? Your San Antonio housing market report starts right now. Okay, going back to last month, as we saw not nationally, we had about a 7.5% increase in new listing activity in the month of August. Now, fast forward to October 10th here. Last month, September data has come in, and we are actually down in new listing activity. So we did not start trending in the opposite direction as we were thinking there might be happening, but we actually came back down. So we're back into that towards that seasonality. When the fall months start coming in, we start kind of falling away with new listing activity. This is all on a national basis. Realtor.com here reports. And locally, last month we were up. We were up over 10% in new listing activity. And as you can see now, month over month, we came in down 5.2% in new listing activity. So we did not continue that trend locally either here. In both cases, nationally and locally, we did not continue that as a trend. We broke right out of that. Whether that continues or not, I don't know. We'll have to see what the coming months bring and what it looks like. Continuing to look at local statistics here, our median list price is up almost 1%. Number of properties that are actively listed for sale is up 8.2%. You can attribute all this to the fall season and, of course, the interest rates that are continuing to climb. New pending listings, these are listings under contract that have gone pending. They're out of the option period. They're done with their inspections and all that good stuff. Median new pending listings are down 2.2% as far as the price is concerned, and the number of properties under contract went down by 18.9%, so almost 19%. It's a pretty good drop off here in pending listing activity. Just overall general pending listings, down almost 13%. Number of properties just in pending status, not just the new pending. So some of these could be left over from the month before, are still pending for sale or under contract. Sold properties down 22.5% for the month of September. So down. We see this every year, but this is all coincides with higher interest rates as well. So we have to keep an eye on that. Month supply, we are at 3.77 months worth of supply. That is a 9.3% change in supply, which is pretty good, especially if you're a buyer and you're looking for a property this fall. You've got a lot more to choose from. 12-month change, 41.2%. Again, attribute all this to higher interest rates and putting some buyers on the sideline. So less competition for sure out there for you buyers, more competition for sellers. These are just sold properties. These are off-market sales. The median price is $151,000. So that kind of rounds out some of the normal statistics. We are still in what's considered a seller's market. We have been watching this tick upwards as the months go by. We're at 3.77 months worth of inventory, and it's a 9.28% month over month increase in inventory. As for how they're selling at just under 2% of the list price. So if a house is listed, at a certain price, say $100,000, they're usually coming in at 98,000 for the sale. Okay, that's just a mathematical example of what they can expect. Maybe the discount might be on a house. Days on the market, we're looking at a median days. Okay, the typical days, 35 days on the market. The typical home price that's sold right now is about $299,994. That's a 0% month over month change. So holding pretty steady as far as sold price or typical sold price in San Antonio. So now we're going to switch over to some of the national news when it comes to the war in Israel. All right, before I start analyzing this, just wanted to take a moment to pause and offer my prayers and thoughts with the people of Israel. This is a horrible, horrible act of violence. I don't wish this on anyone. Lives have been lost, innocent lives have been lost. Also, American lives have been lost. This is all very new development, and just wanted to pause the business really quickly to acknowledge that before we get started kind of unpacking what this might mean locally, because we never wanted to see anything like this happen. But this is their, basically, I'm hearing in the reports, this is, basically their 9/11 that's happened to them, or, proportionately happening to Israel right now. And a response has to be had. And I don't know to what degree this war or this conflict is going to happen. We're still gathering information and seeing that unfold before our eyes. So, my thoughts and prayers out to the people of Israel and all. Okay, I really wanted to just touch on this really quickly because this is so new. We're still gathering data on this. We're still seeing data come out. We don't know how broad of a war this is going to be, but if I were to take my best guess, it's going to be probably more impactful than even the war in Ukraine is. And in fact, looking back, we can see how much the Ukraine war impacted us. Back in February 25th of 2022, National Association of Realtors put out this article here about how Russia-Ukraine war could affect U.S. housing economy. And I think it's very much in line with today's, this is the news that we're getting now about the war there in Israel, how the war in Israel could affect the U.S. housing economy. And this is purely speculation on my part here, but I think this is very much in line. The information they brought up here, it will be different because it's in a different location. But I think some of the concerns are going to be right in line with this. Luxury real estate market may feel the disruption the most as financial resources home buyers use to pay for home purchases, such as stocks and cryptocurrencies, have been volatile since the conflict began. And so we'll look at that. May see more of that in the cards here. So maybe a longer, recovery in store for luxury real estate. Aspiring home buyers in all price ranges may become more hesitant to make larger purchases amid stock market uncertainty and fears of how potential full-blown war in Europe might affect U.S. inflation, which is already at a 40-year high. So we've been in this fight for a long time already, in regards to inflation and having this the Ukrainian war. But now on top of the Ukrainian war, we're talking about another war, and we don't even know how involved the U.S. is going to be at this time because it's so new. So this is really just the beginning of this discussion. I wanted to start it off. We're gonna, I feel like we're gonna be in this discussion for a long time. It's not, the Middle East is a volatile area. It's a very important area when it comes to natural resources of oil. But if that conflict spills out, in a broad manner in the area, there's all kinds of consequences um, that are going to arise out of that. We hate to see bloodshed, but that's the beginning of it. And then, what does that do to the world economy? So we'll just keep an eye on this. This is a really good article. It really hits on a lot of points. Lumber prices, construction materials, all kinds of things. That came to fruition, over the last year here, 18 months. We've seen price hikes. If I were to take my best guess, I'd say, we're going to see a lot of uncertainty in the short term. Definitely pretty high probability of more inflation coming soon. So maybe even more increases in interest rates. I don't know what the move is going to be. Maybe it could be the opposite. I just don't know. I thought for sure when COVID hit that we'd see just the collapse of the housing market. We didn't see that. We saw it just surge forward in a dramatic fashion. But now with this war front and center, I don't know what's going to happen. If you're an expert in the economy, be sure to comment your thoughts. I'll be sure to stay on top of this in future market reports because it's going to affect us for sure back home. And again, prayers back out to the people of Israel and anyone that's lost anybody or they've been taken hostage. And see you guys on the next market video.